Funny Valentines from 1999. Upon discovering her husband's infidelity, Joyce abruptly decides to move her daughters from New York to her hometown deep in the heart of the American South, reuniting with her cousin Dearie and her ailing aunt. Joyce and her long-lost relatives confront demons from their past, notably the year Joyce left for the big city. In repairing her relationship with her family, Joyce learns about herself. Starring Loretta Devine, Alfre Woodard, and CCH Pounder, in a film based on a story by acclaimed writer J. California Cooper and directed by the legendary director of Daughters of the Dust, Julie Dash. Funny Valentines was the choice of Lynn Webb here the second week of March here on the Micheaux Mission. Lynn, what would you like to tell us about this Funny Valentine?
It's interesting that you read the stars' names and you started with Loretta Devine, because this film is kind of marketed as a Alfre Woodard film.
Sure, absolutely.
And Alfre Woodard, as we know, is a heralded actor of huge acclaim, but is not often number one on the call sheet in a lot of films.
No, she isn't. You're right.
So this is her moment to, like, this is my film. The film opens with her. You know, she's our viewpoint into this world as she returns home to the South to kind of like reunite with her cousin, played by Loretta Devine, Dearie B. You know why everybody in the South got to have B or Bell in their name.
It's actually part of the script. They note that.
Exactly. But you said Loretta Devine first, and that makes sense because when you watch this film, you can't take your eyes off of Loretta Devine. First of all, you ran down a story. Alfre Woodard is in what appears to be a increasingly loveless relationship.
Sure.
And she seems to have receipts that her husband is cheating on her.
There's infidelity.
So she's going to take this moment to return home with her two daughters who do not want to go down south. They apparently have never really moved down south ever since she came up north with her husband. The children never really were down there.
No,
don't know the family.
You get the sense this is their first time visiting.
And her daughters are like about 15, and one is a little younger, like maybe, looks like maybe about 10 years old. So, and this will be her opportunity. Alfre Woodard's character, who is, what's her name? Julie? Not Julie. That's not her name. Joyce May. Joycey May is what they call her. This will be her opportunity to reconnect with her cousin, her older cousin, Dearie B, played by Loretta Devine, who you learn has some mental health issues.
Sure.
Right. They in the movie, you know, in these more indelicate times of 1999, says that she was a little slow.
Yeah, she's delayed in her. Yeah.
Right. But still a very functioning adult.
Self-sufficient, it seems like. Yeah, absolutely.
And by all outward accounts, pretty adjusted, you know, happy person. But through flashbacks, you learn that there was some trauma, some sexual assault that she suffered. And that was traumatic not only for her, but also for Joycey May. Because Joycey May, being the younger one at the time, there at the moment of the sexual assault, felt powerless to do anything against it, to stop it. And Dearie B was sexually assaulted. And you learn again through flashbacks throughout the film that this was the impetus for the move of Joycey May and her mother from the South to the North, where apparently she met her husband and moved on. And you also learn that there was an attempt to take Deary B with her. However, that was deemed, no, that's not going to happen. And why wasn't it going to happen? Because of some secret that you learn that was untold until this moment in their adult lives. And it's a secret that is, you're watching the film, you kind of like already get the hint of what the secret is.
Maybe 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 minutes in.
Right. You're kind of like, okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
But it's there. I'm not going to spoil it. At least not yet.
Your dramatic pause when you said her cousin, you kind of gave it away.
Okay, I did. I did. Okay.
You know what you just said? Cousin.
What she calls her cousin.
Right.
So, and then, of course, what happens in this moment, Joycey May comes back home. As you said, she finds herself.
Oh, yeah.
Where she lost, including, this man who has had deep love for her since they were a child. And oh my God, you've returned. Then you can hear the windswept music as they run into each other's arms. And not for nothing, Loretta Devine, as you text me, obviously must have a writer in every one of her movies.
That's right.
I don't care what role I'm playing. I'm going to have a man.
90s Loretta Devine, keep her a man.
She keep a man.
No, that's right.
Now, I don't care what, no arms, no legs, but I got a man.
Deary B ain't that slow.
That's right. No, she ain't. No, she's not. She delayed, but she right on time.
Look. She may not come when you want her.
But he make me feel sexy.
I said, ooh, Loretta Devine. That's what she had on her little nightie.
Looking all soft.
Oh.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah, Lord. So, this is the Loretta Devine show.
Sure.
Especially because it would be very easy for her playing this role. This woman with some mental challenges, delayed, seemingly happy-go-lucky, has some trauma. It would be very easy for her to be over the top with it.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
This is one of those, like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
C radio.
Right. Or Tropic Thunder. Like I kept, like when it came on and I saw it, I said, "Oh, please don't be Simple Jack.
Okay,
please don't be Simple Jack."
But at least Tropic Thunder, that's the joke.
Right.
Radio, so, it ain't the joke.
I know.
That's the difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference. But in here, in this movie,
she threads the needle.
She perfectly.
Yeah.
It is a fully formed woman that she is portraying on screen with dignity, with all of her, the height of her intelligence, loving, she is dealing with trauma, but she overcomes the trauma. Ultimately, she is, but she overcomes it on her own through her own self, feeling and bigging up her own self-worth. So it's her arc that you are truly invested in this film, and it is she that carries this through. But Alfre Woodard is still Alfre Woodard, and she does the most with her role, which is pretty much one note. You kind of see the beats that it's going to go through. She's got the daughter that doesn't want to go down south, that still wants to be with dad. So they got to see how that's going to play out. You know how it's going to play out. But I even like the where that one lands, in that there's no, you're waiting for the moment where the daughter goes running out the house screaming at the mom.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I want to be with dad and anything. Like, it doesn't go there. The daughter herself has to come to her own realization of, what may be lacking in her father,
Mhm.
through just a very simple conversation that she has with her mom, which is a beautiful mother-daughter moment. So that plays very well. There is a lot of plot in this movie,
Mhm.
because at one time, this movie, which is part Harlequin romance,
Yes.
part Lifetime melodrama,
Yes.
and then somewhere along the line, it turns into Anaconda because the snake, this random snake shows up.
You know what? Because my people are country.
Oh, that's yeah.
Before it actually happened, I actually said, y'all need to watch all that water. It's snakes in that water. And then I actually said, see? Y'all so busy down there being fresh with each other. Little girl done got bit by a snake. That's just what happens.
That's exactly what happened in this movie.
Right.
Cut to the emergency
Mess
room.
around in that water. Now it's a snake.
Now it's a snake. Anaconda.
Right.
So the movie's got a whole lot of plot.
Right.
A whole lot going on in this movie. But all you really need is just Alfre Woodard and Loretta Devine. All you really need is just the two of them relating to one another, reconnecting, getting into it a little bit, but as sisters do, it's almost like it's the country mouse and the city mouse. The city mouse comes
absolutely.
home, you're like, oh no, you need a new couch. You need a coffee maker. I don't need no coffee maker.
Right,
I don't need a new couch.
Right. And I was happy with what I got.
I was happy with what I got.
Yeah.
But just watching those two bounce off one another in this movie just was such a joy. And you can tell that it is in those moments that this is why Julie Dash was called to direct this movie. Because if she has shown anything from Daughters of the Dust, she knows how to portray sisterhood on screen.
Right.
She knows how to portray motherhood on screen.
Right.
There are just only a few scenes with CCH Pounder, who plays Deary B's mother, with her and Loretta Devine, but you feel,
look,
that's my mom, that's her daughter. You feel that connection. You in the CCH Pounder in the flashbacks, you feel her sisterhood with Joycey May's mom.
Yeah.
You feel it all the way. Do I have questions about Southern churches and this championing of the ushers? So much so that there are contests of the ushers?
That might be true.
Okay, maybe, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess it is.
It was a weird
it was just
story
weird.
beat.
It was a weird story beat.
That didn't really go anywhere.
Did absolutely nowhere. And I get the sense, like, this movie was made for stars.
Yes.
Right? But it did have a limited run.
Yeah, a limited run.
But being that it was made for the network stars, it's like a made for stars movie. The budget is not crazy high on it, right? But they got Julie Dash. And you could see where Julie Dash, like, she cares. You're like, wake me when Alfre and Loretta are on the screen.
Sure.
And then I'll come. You're like, I feel like there's a lot of second director we're seeing in some of the scenes. You're just like, okay. But when Julie's at the helm, you can feel it. There's beautiful moments. She takes advantage of the landscape. Shooting this film on set, or excuse me, on scene. On location. Thank you. I couldn't come up with a word. Shooting it on location down south. You could see that she is having fun. She's letting the camera take in the entire breadth of the outside.
I mean, this is the director of Daughters of the Dust.
Exactly. So she knows how to frame those pictures, right? And they are actually beautiful. They actually feel almost like postcards, of the South at times. There has to be a villain. There's a villain. that shows up in the flashback that returns in real time.
Yeah.
And it gets dealt with. But there was a part of me that wished that this movie didn't have some of the more melodramatic beats that it does. Just because those are the ones where it does feel very Lifetime, Harley Quinn movies, Hallmark movie type of moments. And like, okay, let's get back to the real. But there's enough of the real that I found myself really falling in love with this movie and falling in love with Loretta Devine all over again.
Sure.
In this film.
Sure. I have to say, you said Lifetime. And there is an aspect of this film where I was thinking Hallmark. The Hallmark Channel, and frankly Tyler Perry, where this is the type of film that on paper I hate. Yeah, like I hate that whole plot of the woman from the big city has to go to small town to recenter herself, and this film works because of a couple of different factors. The first one, just to parrot everything you said, I think Loretta Devine and Alfre Woodard elevate the entire proceedings. Yes. Regardless of the plot and the beats. And to your point, you can sketch out every single solitary plot beat within 10 minutes of this film being on. Because at this point, all of us are post-Hallmark Channel, post-Tyler Perry people. So, you kind of see the twist, quote unquote, like you know where it's coming. The two of them elevate this material to the point where it doesn't matter. As you said with CCH Pounder, it's funny, we were just talking about A Few Good Men. And, one of the things that we always talk about with A Few Good Men is that Jack Nicholson is only in 2 scenes. But he looms so large that you forget he's not in the film that much. CCH Pounder plays that same role in this film. As you said, she's not really, she's in a flashback. There's a scene in Modern Times, but it is CCH Pounder. And the scene with the three of them in the hospital room, because she's hospitalized, is my favorite scene in the film. Like there's a moment between her character and Loretta Devine, who plays her daughter, and Loretta Devine is helping her find her wig. And then when she visits with the family, that is amazing. Yeah. But I have to say, what interests me the most about this film was this very, very predictable plot that gets muddied a little bit. As I said, I hate this plot. Like, I hate this whole, the big city is this place of amorality and materialism, and we have to go back to these simple ways and get more into contact with nature and with what quote unquote really matters. I am unapologetically a modern creature. Like I want to be in the city. I need a Wi-Fi connection. I need an espresso machine. I need a record store. I need a bookstore. I need a stand where I can get a burrito. And I love the city. And I am a moral person, and I'm a godly person, and I'm in touch with my blackness and all. Like, I don't need to be on no goddamn dirt road to get in touch.
I didn't know you were an espresso guy.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I don't need the simple life to get in touch. And frankly, the vast majority of people left that behind to come to the city for a reason. So just as a plot, this whole Tyler Perry Hallmark Channel, go to the small town, and it's the dude who grows Christmas trees, and that's just a non-starter for me. But I love the fact that this town is not the answer because it's this town. I love the fact that this sort of moral ambiguity and shortcuts that happen when this assault happens, where the church is trying to cover it up, where people are negotiating, where people are doing these are not city folks. This is in the country, and I love that. Like it was so much more realistic.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
I love the small town politics of that. I love the fact that you know, speaking of this being a pre-Tyler Perry movie, you know, there's always this sort of ambient class resentment where again, I'm the big city lawyer, I'm the big city this, and my mate is the big city this, the big city that, and somehow they are again amoral. So then I go to the small town and have to get with a working man with the cornrow wig who works on cars or drives a bus, and he knows what really matters. But because this is the early 90s, there's a professional man down here too that she gets with. Having said that, I love how complicated this relationship between her and her estranged husband ends up being. Where when he does finally show up, they have a surprisingly mature conversation.
They do.
About where this marriage has gone astray. And he acknowledges that he has done some things wrong. He says that maybe I can do better. She says, I don't know. And then it lands on, you don't know.
That's right.
You don't know. Are they going to be together? Probably not.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say no.
I don't know if it is safe to say no.
I think it's safe to say no by the end of the movie.
She does not run off in the arms of the other, of the.
Oh, we're not talking about the doctor.
No.
But whether or not she's going to be with the husband, I think it's safe to say no.
I think probably not. Because she says, if I come back, I'm not going to be the person that you think I'm going to be.
Yes, she said, if I come back.
And he says, I wouldn't mind meeting her. And then you've got this plot beat that we've seen a million times. In fact, the most famous time we've seen it is in Waiting to Exhale, where she changes her hair because she had her hair the way he liked it. And he says, you know, I like your hair. I like your hair. Like, and then he leaves. And then to muddy it even more, you have that wonderful exchange between her and her daughter, played by Megan. And I'm going to work my way through, and I'm going to mess up her name, and I apologize in advance. Ichiku Kuonwoki, who is she's not a young actress now, but I remember seeing her during this moment.
Okay. Because
she played the daughter of Dennis Haysbert's president on 24.
Okay.
And she was very good. So it's nice to see her. And I like her in this role. Where as someone who is most of the time opposite Alfre Woodard and sometimes Loretta Devine, she does okay.
Yeah.
Like she holds her own. But as her mother tells her, you called your father 2 weeks ago, which she should have called her father, because I know it's girl power and I packed up the kids and left. You can't take nobody's kids and not let them know where you're going. And I like how the film kind of addresses that. But it took him 2 weeks to come down here.
That's right.
Because he, as Alfre Woodard's character says, puts things before us, this, that, and the other. But it was it felt real.
Exactly.
As opposed to, you know, again, as someone who lives in a post-Tyler Perry moment, as someone who lives in a post-Hallmark Channel moment, like he would be, you know, just the most awful, terrible, human being who needs to go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
He's maybe not a good dude.
Right.
But he seems like a human being.
Yeah.
So I ended up liking it more than I thought I would have. And the film actually, the greatest compliment I can give the film is about 15, maybe 20 minutes before it went off.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. To your point, to your critique about the more melodramatic aspect with the rapist who now has returned back to town. In my mind, I like that because that reinforced my thought about this small town life is not the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is a part of this town too. Not only is he a part of this town, but the social machine
mm-hmm.
that protects him is part of this town. Like, I love there's an ongoing plot detail with his mother protecting him. But then I also love there's a moment where Loretta Devine confronts some of the members of the church who helped to cover it up. And she says, I didn't have a problem with the church. You're the problem.
That was, and that was Alfre Woodard. That was Alfre Woodard.
Right, right. That. So I again,
I like that.
Again, it muddies it a little bit more than frankly you get with a film like this.
Well,
in the 21st century.
You're saying that it muddies it. To me, it doesn't muddy it. Like you said, it elevates, because this is a story as old as time. We've seen it. We've seen the beats, but this is a much more mature way to play it out.
Right.
Right. With less words, because cut straight to the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the magic of that scene with Alfre Woodard and the lady at the from the church. That was the magic of the scene with between Alfre and her daughter, right? And because there are scenes like that, and that's even the power of the script in a lot of the scenes between Loretta and Alfre throughout the film. They have like a slight confrontation about the buying of the couch, and things of that nature. They have getting back, reconnecting, but the dialogue is sparse. It's how we talk to one another, right? That is smartly done, because without any long, drawn out, monologues throughout the film, at the end, when Loretta Devine actually then does confront the man who assaulted her, that makes that moment all the more powerful. Yeah. Because now you're staying in this moment, and I've got words. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not only is she delivering a powerful monologue in that moment, it is still back and forth. He's trying to give it to her. So she's like, no, right. I'm right here in this moment. The person who you call slow, no, I'm right here with you, and shame on you. You're a minister's son. Yeah. You are empty inside. Yeah. It just makes that moment just stand out that much more, Yeah,
I do have to say, though, speaking of the country, I was a little confused why her big old huckabuck, John Henry looking man, Ephraim Lee, like when dudes start yelling at them after
when he was sitting on her car,
on the car, I was like, okay, I know his big huckabuck ass ain't just gonna sit there and let all this go down.
I know.
And then I was like, this dude is real mouthy to be down there. It's a whole lot of swamp water in woods for you to disappear, and you seem like somebody who, if you disappeared,
ain't a lot of people gonna look.
Ain't a whole lot of people gonna look for you. Like, this is you real mouthy.
But
all that water out here.
But Huckabuck he just stood there.
Right. Well, but to your point, that was a moment where I did feel the plot moving. Where it's like they're setting up.
Yeah.
And I understand. You want Derry B to have the moment of empowerment in the sea. But I was like, yeah, that doesn't necessarily smash past the smell test about how that really would have unfolded.
Well, that scene actually did. That is the scene that felt very Tyler Perry.
Right. Because he loved Derry B.
Oh,
yeah, he seemed like a dude that wasn't going to let you talk no kind of way to Derry B.
But he did. That's what made it.
But again, that's the plot.
Yeah.
That's the plot moving around.
Well, see, that's the plot moving around, but I don't know. I want to see what him just walking up on dude.
Right. Well, that's my point. Because he seemed like he know how to bust up a chifferow.
Yeah.
I brought these flowers for you, Derry B. I said, good Lord. All right, I hear you, Derry B. Big old John Henry barrel-chested, overall-wearing Negro.
He was.
I'll always love you, Derry B.
He looked like, what's the dude from...
I just ate half a cow and drank a gallon of milk and washed it down to work up my courage to come and speak words to you.
To say words.
That little mealy mouth dude came talking all crazy.
I know.
I said, ooh, this ain't going to go the way you think it's going to go. But then it did.
It did.
I love that dude, too. Because that's his role. He shows up as Big Huckabuck Negro.
I think that's his name in this cast. Huckabuck.
Busting out of some overalls.
This is overall. Well, he had on a suit. He had a suit at the funeral.
Afimo Omalami.
Yes.
Who shows up and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. He shows up. He's just, big guy,
I'm joking. I think he plays, he's in Drop Squad as like a... Oh! You know who else he is?
Who?
He is, old girl. No. He plays the university president in Drumline.
Oh, yes, he does.
He plays because he wants him to be on the line.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get him out there on that. Yes. Yes, that's right. Oh, wow, talk about a different character.
I know.
I guess he is a bit of an actor. Wow.
Right.
Wow. And you know what? Shout out for a thankless role of just being the good doctor down south. Another actor that shows up, Tom Wright.
Tom Wright?
Yeah.
Tom Wright?
Yeah. And just, hey, he's cast in the Blair Underwood role.
I know, because he had the sexy goatee. He had the sexy 90s goatee.
Yes, he did. Yes,
that's how you knew he was sexy.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was
speaking words to Alfre Woodard.
He was smooth. He was smooth with it. And then when Dad showed up, he's like, "I'm a friend of the family.
Oh.
Sorry for your loss."
Yeah. We're joking, but it is something to be said for both Loretta Devine and Alfre Woodard being sexualized in the text, because oftentimes they aren't.
That's true. That's very, very true.
And very true. I think Julie Dash, I'll say what I'd say periodically about these types of things, where I wish Julie Dash would have been allowed to be more active in the 80s and 90s, and she could have done a film with Whoopi Goldberg. Because by text and by the visual, we've been joking, but both Loretta Devine and Alfre Woodard, you understand why these men are like,
yeah. Look, I told you.
And that is something to be said, something to be celebrated.
I've had a thing for Loretta Devine forever.
Well, Loretta Devine, part of the reason I text you, we talked about this when we watched it, Loretta Devine as a woman who is bigger than like the Hollywood standard, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I always think her role in Waiting to Exhale is kind of radical because she's not played as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not played, and Gregory Hines is and again, it's not played as a joke. Like as the direction and as the viewer, you understand.
Yes, exactly.
And then in this film, where she's still the same size and she's playing somebody who's delayed,
mm-hmm.
she still is able to thread this needle where she is not only believably sexualized, but sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
Like you absolutely get it. Like I'm joking about Mr. Huckabuck John Henry, but you understand he, put on his good overalls to come and give her flowers.
Yeah.
So
she's soft with it.
Yeah. But I guess the real question, of course, would be, would you recommend this?
I would.
Would you?
I would. And believe me, as I was listening to some of that 90s music, I was like, ooh. But I would recommend it. I think it's a sweet film. I think it is much like The Annihilation of Fish.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a bit of a lost treasure.
Interesting.
That is there for people to discover, It's a story that but it's by performers that you respect. And in so doing, they give a more nuanced version of that story for you to take in. I think I would definitely recommend this film.
I 100% agree with you. I think in 1999, I probably would not have recommended it because I did not know the dreck that was on the horizon. But in the case of you never miss your water until the well runs dry, I 100% agree with you. This is a film that is in a lot of ways very by the numbers, very predictable, but the nuance of both the performers and the story elevate it to the point where I ended up appreciating it. And I have to say, it happened as the film went on.
Yes.
Like, I think the first 10, 15 minutes, I was ready to say one thing. And then 30 to 45 minutes, I was changing my mind. And then by the end, I had changed my mind.
What happens?
As I mentioned, it got to a point where I said, wow, I really am not sure where this is going to land.
Which is
the greatest compliment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what happens, like you said, in the first 10, 15 minutes, she's driving down south. Once she gets there,
right,
that's when it's like, okay, this is feeling all right. I'm liking this.
Right.
I'm with this. So there you go. Check out Funny Valentines.